Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera everyone. We will continue our topic on chemical equilibrium. But before that, let us recap what is chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is a process in which the reactants are converted into products. There are many types of chemical reactions involved in our daily life, such as combustion, photosynthesis, etc. Generally, there are four types of chemical reaction: the synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, or double displacements. Chemical reaction can be irreversible or reversible. In reversible reaction, the forward rate of reaction decreases due to the decrease in the concentration of the reactants as they are converted into products. Therefore, the rate of the reverse reactions is increased. Remember that rate of reactions for both forward and reverse reactions are given by this equation, where A, B, C, and D are the concentrations of the products and reactants respectively, and K is the rate constant. As the reaction proceeds, the rate for both forward and reverse reactions became equal, and the reaction now is said to be in equilibrium state. Remember that when the reaction is in equilibrium, there is no change in the concentrations of reactants and product, and no change in the properties of the system. And the reactions must take place in a closed system. Remember that in equilibrium system, the forward rate is equals to the reverse rate. So, we can write the equation for both reaction rates, and when we rearrange this equation, we get the ratio of the rate constants is equals to the ratio of the products and the reactants concentration. Note that the stoichiometric coefficient of the balance equation is taken into account in the equation. This ratio is called as equilibrium constant, and it is equals to the concentrations of product divided by the concentrations of reactants. K can be expressed in terms of Kc when we are dealing with concentrations of the product and reactants, or Kp when we are dealing with the partial pressure of the products and reactants. Partial pressure is the pressure of a single gas in a mixture of gases. Note that Kp is used when the reactants involve gases, but it can also be expressed in Kc. Example, for this equilibrium reaction involving gas, its equilibrium constant can be expressed as Kp or Kc. For an ideal gas, we know that pressure is equal to the following equation, where V is the volume, N is the amount of substance, R is the ideal gas constant, and T is the temperature. Note that when we rearrange this equation into this manner, we will get the relation between P and the concentrations of the gas. And when we substitute this equation into Kp, we will get the relation between Kp and Kc. In equilibrium reaction, it is said to be homogeneous when all the reactants and the products are in the same phase. Example, the decompositions of dinitrogen tetraoxide. On the other hand, when all the reactants and products are present in more than one phase, therefore it is called as heterogeneous equilibrium. Example, the decomposition of calcium carbonate. Therefore, in both homogeneous and heterogeneous equilibrium, the concentrations of pure liquids and pure solids is not taken into account in the expressions since their values are constants. Now, let us calculate the concentrations of the product and reactants at equilibrium. Example for this reaction. First, we must ensure that reaction equation is balanced. Because remember that the stoichiometric reactions in a balanced equation is included in the expression. The next step is to write the equilibrium expression. Then we determine the initial concentration of both product and reactant. Initially, the concentrations of the reactant Hi is 0.1. How do we get this? Remember that the researcher fills a 2-liter flask with 0.2 mole of Hi. Then, the concentration of Hi is calculated by dividing the mole of Hi added with the volume of the flask, and we get 0.1 molar. However, at the beginning of the reaction, there is no product formed, hence the concentrations of the products are 0. Now is when we are interested to know the concentration of each product and reactants at equilibrium. First, we assume that the concentrations of the product at equilibrium is X. So, for every X mole of product is produced, we will lose 2 moles of Hi. And we are given that the concentration of Hi at equilibrium is 0.078 molar. And therefore, we get the value of X is equals to 0.011 molar. Then, the concentration at equilibrium now is as following. And we use these values in the Kc expression. And we get 0.020. Note that when the reversible reaction is not at equilibrium, then the reaction constant is expressed in Q, which is the reaction quotient. Reaction quotient expression is the same as equilibrium constant Kc or Kp, but the value will fluctuate. It is used to predict the direction of the reversible reaction when not at equilibrium. If the value of Qc is less than Kc, system proceeds from left to right to reach equilibrium. And when Qc equals to Kc, the system is at equilibrium. And when the value of Qc is more than Kc, system proceeds from right to left to reach equilibrium. If the reversible reaction is a sum of 2 or more reactants, then the overall reaction quotient or equilibrium constant is the product of the reaction quotients or equilibrium constants for the steps. Example, the reaction synthesis of nitrogen dioxide that involves the combination reaction between nitrogen and oxygen gas, and later the combination of this nitrogen oxide gas with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide gas. Hence, we get the overall reaction of the synthesis of the nitrogen dioxide gas. For each reaction step, QC1 and QC2 is written as the following. Hence, QC for the overall reaction is given by the overall products divided by the reactants. The same goes to determining Kc or Kp in an equilibrium system. When a system at equilibrium is disturbed, it will move to counteract the change. This is called as Le Chatelier's principle. Now, let us study the effect of all potential disturbance in an equilibrium system. The Kc expression is used to explain the disturbance due to change in concentration. Let us start by increasing the concentrations of the reactants. When we increase the concentrations of any reactants, the reaction will move to the right to produce product, hence reduce the excess concentrations of the reactants and the system be at equilibrium again. Likewise, when we increase the concentrations of the product, it will move to the left to produce more reactants to reduce the excess concentrations of the product, and the systems became in equilibrium again. The same explanation goes to when the concentrations of the product and reactants is reduced. The directions of the reaction will move to the side that will increase again the concentrations of the product or reactants. Note that the movement or the directions of the reaction is to ensure that equilibrium and the Kc is maintained. Disturbance due to concentration will not affect the value of Kc. And remember that the increase or the reduction of the concentration of a solid may not affect the equilibrium of the system because its value is constant and not included in the expression. When the pressure of an equilibrium system is disturbed, it will move to the direction that will bring the pressure of the system back to equilibrium again. The gas law equation will be taken into account in determining the direction of the reaction. Now, if we increase the pressure of the system, we know that based on the ideal gas equation, the number of gas molecules will also increase. Hence, the system will move to the direction that will reduce the number of moles of the gas. Hence, in these equations, since the forward reaction contains the least number of gas molecules, therefore the reaction will move to the right to reduce the pressure of the equilibrium system. Likewise, when the pressure of the system is reduced, it will move to the left to increase again the pressure of the system. Note that the change in pressure will not affect the equilibrium constants of the system. The same concept is applied when volume of the equilibrium system is disturbed. From the ideal gas equation, when the volume of the system is increased, the pressure of the system will be decreased. Hence, it will move to the left to increase the pressure of the system by increasing the number of gas molecules. On the other hand, when the volume of the system is reduced, it will move to the right to reduce the pressure of the system by reducing the number of gas molecules. Note that the change in volume also did not alter the equilibrium constant. In exothermic reaction, the system will release heat that causes the environment of the system to be hot. Hence, when the temperature of the system is increased, it will move to the direction that will reduce the temperature of the system by absorbing the additional heat supplied. Therefore, for this reaction, it will move to the left. Likewise, if the temperature of the system is reduced, it will move to the right to increase the temperature of the system again. Similarly, in endothermic equilibrium system, when the temperature is increased, it will move forward to absorb the excess heat release and will move to the left if the temperature of the system is reduced. Note that the equilibrium constant is very much affected by changing the temperature of the system as shown in this equation. Finally, the addition of catalysts did not affect the equilibrium of the system. It only speeding up the equilibrium reaction. Remember that when the concentration of the equilibrium system is disturbed, it should be considered in determining the concentration of all reactants and products when they reach equilibrium again.